She is one of the most talked about athletes in all of sports. No small feat considering that just 2 years ago, her very sport, women's mixed martial arts, was almost unheard of. She is Ronda Rousey, and with her unusual combination of skills and looks, she has not only put women's MMA on the map, she has become a full-fledged celebrity outside the octagon and a modern-day feminist role model to boot. Our John Frankel reports.
At first glance, you could mistake her for a model, a California blonde who loves the camera. Or if you've been to the movies lately, you might think she's an actress.
You need that German bitch.
With roles in a blockbuster hit. Or two.
We know each other. You remember me? Didn't she used to be really fat?
But behind the glitz and glamour is quite possibly the most dominant athlete in the world, a woman named Ronda Rousey. A lethal combination of beauty and power. Emphasis on the power.
Can she do it right here? And it's all over!
Sports Illustrated said, pound for pound, you are the best UFC fighter, man or woman.
It makes me feel way better than if someone told me I was pretty. If I was voted the sexiest woman alive, it wouldn't make me nearly as happy. There's the sexiest woman alive every year. It's once in a blue moon that you see a woman on the top of the pound for pound list.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey!
She's an undefeated champion in the UFC, the world's top circuit for mixed martial arts. One steel cage, two fighters, and when Rousey's involved, no mercy.
Rousey comes up swinging.
She's faced 11 women in the ring and destroyed them all almost instantly. Her most recent victory coming in 14 seconds. Some say her power and dominance is actually forcing society to rethink gender stereotypes.
Look at that! Oh, man.
Do you feel you carry this torch for women? There's this talk of third wave feminism.
I don't wake up in the morning and I don't open my eyes and be like, what can I do today for the betterment of women in society? Like, that's not my first thought over oatmeal, but but I try where I can.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
We first met Ronda Rousey 2 years ago, when her goal wasn't to take over the world of UFC, it was just to be allowed in, to a league that had vowed it would never let women fight. She was trying to prove herself in the sport's minor leagues.
Holy cow, that's good for David.
And soon gained attention for her signature finishing move, the armbar.
There's the armbar again.
Which slowly tears her opponent's arm in two. Perfectly legal in this business, and perfectly gruesome.
You can give up if you want.
I can tap out.
You totally can anytime.
But you'd be calling me a wuss.
No, I'd be calling you smart. Because it's going down regardless.
Do you like hurting the person?
No, but it's a fight. We're not baking cakes for each other. You know, I didn't go in there to make a pie.
No matter who she's confronting, Rousey doesn't hold back, as I found out firsthand at her training camp in Big Bear, California.
Wow.
And now this doesn't take any muscle. I can just hang out here all day. Tuck your chin in when you fall, okay?
Okay.
So I'm just gonna turn. And now I would fall on top, and now I would be in side control.
And the takedown by Rousey.
Because I could do an armbar right from here. Up to the wrist, I come back here.
Less than a minute remaining in the first round.
This is the point where usually people would want to give up.
Rousey extending the arm.
Can you tell when it has gotten to the point where that person is in extreme pain?
Yeah, I know when the joint reaches its limit because you feel it pop. And this is a very sensitive area that I'm putting strain on, so I could feel things pretty well.
Of course, dislocating people's arms wasn't the only thing helping Rousey get noticed. Posing for magazine covers, mostly naked, it tends to get some attention too.
If you want exposure, you have to expose yourself to some extent.
Does it bother you that you might be a sex symbol to some people? Do you see yourself as a sex symbol?
I don't really see myself as a sex symbol because ever since people started calling me a sex symbol, I haven't had less sex in my life. Like, it's not really working out great for me.
Watch Rousey and listen to her, and you'd never know that as a girl, she was silent and scared. Strangled at birth by her umbilical cord, she couldn't physically speak until age 4, and was afraid to try until she was 6. Only one person could draw her out of her shell, her father, Ron.
We were pretty much attached to the hip. Yeah, I was big time daddy's girl.
What were some of the things you do with him?
Swimming was a big thing that I did with him. And my dad was all super stoked on it, and he got like the swimming rule book and like read every page and every rule of swimming and would come and be there for every practice, and it was our thing that we did together.
He always told her she was going to be best in the world.
Anne Maria DeMars is Rousey's mother.
She's just a sleeper. She's going to be one of those people that you don't think she's going to be that good at first, but she's going to take off. So I think she has always had that going for that no matter what, no matter if she couldn't talk, there was somebody that always believed that she was going to be best in the world.
Under her father's tutelage, Rousey became one of the best young swimmers around, an Olympic hopeful. That is, until one day when everything came to a screeching halt. It was, of all things, a family sledding outing that changed her life. Her dad, Ron, ended up in the hospital with a broken back and never fully recovered. In time, between the pain and the hospital bills, he'd had enough. Ron Rousey took his own life. It was her mom who broke the news to 8-year-old Ronda.
She said, "Your dad's gone to heaven." And I just remember I couldn't feel my legs. Like I tried to walk and like I couldn't feel my legs. And I just kind of pretended to myself that he was like off on a business trip or something for some while. I tried to deny it for a while, and eventually it's just the way it was. There was no more dad.
After that, Rousey no longer wanted to swim. It was just too painful. That's what she did with her dad. Her mom moved the family from North Dakota to California to start fresh, then had another idea to get her daughter back on her feet.
I was worried because she didn't have any other friends, any other kids to play with, and so I thought, well, I'll take her to judo. Because at least at judo, you have to have a partner, right? Because you have to do it with another kid.
I took to it right away. I had the knack. I hated losing, and I was already an angry kid, so I loved to fight.
Plus, her mom, well, she knew a little something about judo. She had been the women's world champion in the sport in the early 1980s.
Anne-Marie is known affectionately by her teammates as the Animal.
The Animal. Yes, Ronda Rousey's mom was herself once the toughest woman on earth. One of her favorite techniques? The armbar. And like any good mother, she taught her daughter everything she knew.
I got like a little bit of a tick, because if I was watching TV, she would like sneak up behind me and like choke me, and she'd always be ready. She would like wake me up when I was sleeping and like jump on me, and I would have to armbar her. She'd try to armbar me, like always be ready. That was her line. Always be ready.
And you taught this to your 8th grade daughter?
Oh, that's actually my best
Boy,
thing.
you're a good mom.
I am a great mom.
And Maria also taught her daughter this. Relentless pursuit of destruction.
When you walk out of this gym, I want everybody to know your name. Today, I want you to hurt people and break things. And
Excuse me?
I said I want you to hurt people and break things.
Ronda listened. Soon, she was breaking her way into the top levels of the sport, with her mother by her side.
I mean, people think you're crazy to do it, but you're not crazy. You're Ronda.
And at age 17, she had arrived.
Ronda Rousey has won a spot on the United States Olympic team.
Rousey competed in 2 Olympics and won bronze in 2008, becoming the first American woman ever to medal in judo.
Representing the United States of America, Ronda Rousey.
But after her moment of glory, Rousey faced a small problem. Judo didn't pay the bills, and she had no money, no job, and no home. So she moved into her car and began to chase a new vision, to become a professional mixed martial arts fighter. Never mind that she'd never competed in the sport, or that the sport's major league, the UFC, didn't allow women. She would just do to them what she did to everyone else in her path, force them to surrender.
I was living in my car and working and training and doing everything, and I just decided that I was not going to be discouraged, and I was not going to be a victim of my circumstances. I was going to manifest and will this all to happen. And so I just didn't rest, and I didn't doubt. I just worked.
Fight after fight, she climbed up the ranks, from small venues to national TV.
And again now transitioning to the arm.
One armbar at a time. Finally, the UFC and its boss, Dana White, did what everyone else already had, gave in to Ronda Rousey. And in the 2 years since we first met her, she's gone from outsider to superstar. Let's go back to what Dana White said, which is that no woman will ever fight on a UFC card, and he's also been quoted now as saying, you're his biggest star. He's come a long way.
Yeah, I've done the I told you so dance a couple of times. Like, I told you so. I do it a lot. You've seen it a couple of times.
She's landed major endorsement deals, been featured in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and she's even elbowed her way into a new league,
Thank God you showed up.
Hollywood.
These parties bore me to death.
Which one presents a greater challenge for you? To have somebody instruct you how to fight for a movie scene,
Right.
or to actually get in the cage?
Actually getting in the cage is definitely, more difficult.
The real thing is still tougher.
Yeah, and there's no second take. It's not like, oh, no, I don't like that first round. Let's try it again. Let's try one more time.
But if you're worried that Rousey's fame has made her soft, don't be. Later this summer, she'll be back in the cage with bad intentions.
I don't just want to beat this chick. She needs to be embarrassed. I want her to go to therapy afterward. I'm serious.
Physical or psychological?
Psychological therapy.
Yes, she puts the brutal in brutal honesty. But that's what earned Rousey the devotion of a legion of fans. Last week, she was in New York promoting her new book, a tell-all autobiography, and hundreds lined up and waited for up to 5 hours just for a chance to meet their hero.
Ronda, can I please get a picture with you?
Yeah.
She is the people's champion, her reach extending beyond the cage in Hollywood to real people with real struggles. In her book, she opens up about her personal experience with an eating disorder.
How important was it for you to discuss body image and bulimia?
That was one of the more important things, because that was one of those battles I felt like I was going through alone. And if anybody reading that is going through something similar, even if one girl reading it that threw up her dinner last night because she felt guilty for being full reads that and stops, the whole thing is worth it.
At her book signing the very next day, Rousey got her wish.
Can I have another hug?
Yeah, I love hugs.
Sorry.
You're adorable. So nice to meet
You helped me get through with my bulimia and feel better about myself. So.
Hours later, Rousey was overcome by her new role, role model.
I've done signings before, but not any like emotional like that. I heard a lot of stories today. A lot of people going through a lot of stuff.
It's why, she says, she's now using her body for a different type of battle.
When I go shoot for Sports Illustrated and for Maxim, I'll purposely do it heavier. I'm gonna go and do that shoot looking exactly how I look like on a normal day. I could literally take off my jumper and do it right now, and I ate dinner last night. If I want to have a real social effect, then that's the way that I could do it.
None of this was the plan when she started out, living alone in her car, chasing a job that didn't exist. But Ronda Rousey was born to fight. And if she now wants to destroy the old rules of how a girl is supposed to act, who's going to step in her way?
I don't want this to be a fad or a flash in the pan or something that was around just for me. I want it to survive me. I want to see decades in the future girls fighting.
When you got into this, into MMA and UFC, you weren't trying to change the world, you were merely trying to change your own life.
Yeah.
But have you changed the world?
It's not changing the world, it's changing one little part of it, but it's one little part that I feel like I could really have a big effect in.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to catch the rest of our latest edition of Real Sports all month long on HBO.